It is an interesting question, but really, Dorian, how different Sybil Vane was from all the women. There is something to me quite beautiful about her death. I am glad I am living in a century when such wonders happen. They make one believe in the reality of the things we all play with, such as romance, passion, and love. I was terribly cruel to her. You forget that. I am afraid that women like cruelty more than anything else. They have wonderfully primitive instincts. They are still our slaves looking for their masters, all the same. I am sure you were fantastic. I've never seen you really angry, but I can imagine how delightful you looked. And after all, you said something to me the day before yesterday, and it holds the key to everything. What was that, Harry? You said to me that Sybil Vane was to you all the heroines of romance, that she was Desdemona one night and Ophelia the other, that if she died as Juliet, she came to life as Imogen. She will never come to life again now, said the lad, hiding his face in his hands. No, she will never come to life. She has played her last part. But you must think of that lonely death in the dirty dressing room, simply as a fragment from some tragedy. The girl never really lived, and so she has never really died. To you she was always a dream. The moment she touched actual life, she destroyed it, and it destroyed her, and so she passed away. There was a silence. The evening darkened in the room. Noiselessly, and with silver feet, the shadows crept in from the garden. Everything lost its color. After some time, Dorian Gray looked up. You have explained me to myself, Harry. I felt all that you have said, but I was afraid of it. I could not express it to myself. How well you know me! But we will not talk again of what has happened. It has been a wonderful episode, that is all. I wonder if life has in store for me something wonderful like that. I'm sure it has, Dorian. There is nothing that you, with your extraordinary good looks, will not be able to do. But suppose, Harry, I become ugly and old, what then? Ah, then, said Lord Henry, rising to go, then, my dear Dorian, you would have to fight for your victories. Now you must keep your good looks. We live in an age that reads too much to be wise, and that thinks too much to be beautiful. And now you had better dress and drive down to the club. We are rather late, you know. I think I shall join you at the opera, Harry. I feel too tired to eat anything. What is the number of your box? 27, I believe. You will see my name on the door. But I'm sorry you won't come and dine. I don't feel like doing that, said Dorian, but I am awfully obliged to you for all that you have said to me. You are certainly my best friend. No one has ever understood me as you have. We are only at the beginning of our friendship, Dorian, answered Lord Henry, shaking him by the hand. Goodbye. I shall see you before 9:30, I hope. As he closed the door behind him, Dorian Gray touched the bell, and in a few minutes Victor appeared with the lamps and drew the curtains down. He waited for him to go. As soon as he had left, Dorian came to the screen and drew it back. No, there was no further change in the picture. It had received the news of Sybil Vane's death before he had known of it himself. It was conscious of the events of life as they happened. He wondered and hoped that some day he would see the change taking place before his very eyes, though he was afraid of it. Poor Sybil! What a romance it had all been! She had often acted Death on the stage. Then Death himself touched her and took her with him. How had she played that dreadful last scene? She died for love of him, and love would always be a sacrament to him now. He would not think any more of that horrible night at the theater. When he thought of her, it would be as a wonderful tragic figure sent on to the world stage to show the reality of love. A wonderful tragic figure? Tears came to his eyes as he remembered her childlike look. Then he quickly looked again at the picture. He felt that the time had really come for making his choice. Or had his choice already been made? Yes, life had decided that for him, life and his curiosity about life, endless youth, wild joys, and wilder sins, he would have all these things. The portrait was to bear the burden of his shame, that was all. A feeling of pain crept over him. Would his picture become a monstrous thing to be hidden away in a locked room? To be shut out from the sunlight? The pity of it! The pity of it! But who would miss the chance of remaining always young? If the picture was to change, it was to change, that was all. There would be a real pleasure in watching it. He would be able to follow his mind into its secret places. This portrait would be to him the most magical of mirrors. He would see his soul in it, and when winter came upon it, he would still be standing where spring lives. He would be young and beautiful forever like the gods of the Greeks. What did it matter what happened to the picture? He would be safe. That was everything. He drew the screen back, smiling as he did so. An hour later, he was at the opera with Lord Henry.